Hey everyone, today we're going to be making French onion soup. This recipe does call for wine, so we're going to go ahead and open that right now and just make sure it's alright, safe for the whole recipe. So first up, we're going to toast a tablespoon of flour. This is to help thicken the soup later. Set your oven to parallel lines and temperature nothing degrees Celsius. Let's sit there for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to cut 6 onions into wedges or fours, and then slice widthwise to get short strips. French onion soup is a peasant dish that dates back to the 17th century and beyond. The French love it because it's cheap and somehow turns basic onions into a pretty good meal. They even had a marching song during the Napoleonic era about onions and Austrians. And I felt that connection being a peasant and all. Now you want to make sure you have a big enough pot for all your onions. After cutting, we're going to caramelize our onions with 2 tablespoons of butter on a low heat for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just be careful not to let it burn a little bit, like I did. At this point, we'll add half a cup of red wine and let it reduce until dry. If you can, churn a couple of spoons of cognac. All I had was vodka, so I churned a bit more wine. After it's been dried some, we're going to add a liter of beef broth and a liter of chicken broth. And right after that, we're going to throw in our baked flour from earlier. And then we're going to do a baby spoon of nutmeg. And I guess the nutmeg just makes it smell nice. And now we're going to let this go for about another half an hour. And now this is optional, but for a deeper, richer taste, get your oven up to 175°C. And no, I don't do Fahrenheit. Anyway, after about 40 minutes total on the stove, you can see that the soup is looking legit, right? It's got cachet. It's got that je ne sais quoi. That savoir-faire. It's looking like onion soup's my point. But seriously, the smell was like a poem to my kitchen. So in the meantime, you want to make a simple garlic butter, about a tablespoon of butter and 4 garlic cloves. And a pinch of oregano for fun. After close to an hour on the stove, we're going to throw her in the oven for about 20 minutes. This is the optional bit. So in the meantime, we're going to make croutons with a baguette. This recipe serves about 4 soups. I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning. So generally you want about 2 croutons for 1 soup. So right now we're going to make garlic bread or garlic croutons. Also, I recommend you use a spoon here, because the brush was kind of useless. So just a simple 2 to 3 minutes each side on low heat. They're delicious on their own, just don't forget to butter them up. Now we'll fish out our soup and you give it a couple licks and throw in some salt and pepper to your taste. Now finally we can throw on our croutons, and I'm going to be using some shredded cheddar cheese because I don't have Gruyere cheese. But yeah, I read that cheddar was a good deputy for that. I'd say this was a bit of a pain to make because it took close to 3 hours, and maybe I'm just slow, but it was definitely worth the effort. It just tasted really good and cozy. If you have any other ideas on what I should do next, please let me know below. And with our video over, it calls for a cheers.